Marcus, thank you so much for talking to us today. Tell me why you've written the letter that you've written, how important it is to you.
It obviously has a huge importance for me, probably on a personal level, because what families are going through now, I once had to go through that same system, and it's very difficult to find a way out. But now that I'm in this position that I'm in, it's very important for me to help the people that are struggling, and that was the main reason why the letter was written. And whether the outcome is that it doesn't change or it does change, I know that I've done the right thing in trying to help these people. So
take me back to that time that you talk about in the letter.
Yeah.
How difficult were things for you as a kid when you needed free school meals?
Yeah, well, my mum was a single parent. She's got 5 kids that was all living in the same house. Now, the programme that I started at 11 years old, you're supposed to start it at 12 years old, which basically gives you a new accommodation, closer to the training facilities and a new school. And she worked that hard to push it forward because she knew that, for me, that was the step I needed to take. I needed to be eating the right foods whilst I was growing. I needed to be close to my teammates, my new school friends and stuff like that. So, she made that decision when I was 11 years old, and United allowed it. So that was the reason why I ended up going at a younger age compared to the others. It was to help my mum with her situation and also get me out of the situation that we was in. So there's always a big element of sacrifice to try and get to the top level, and that's the one that we had to make initially. My mum, she done the best she could. I remember we used to go to a shop called Pound World, and everything was under £1, and we sort of schedule out the week, so we'd get 7 yogurts and you can have 1 yogurt a day and so on. So she done the best she could within the circumstances, but there's some families out there like me that have 4 or 5 kids, so it's literally impossible for her to take control of the situation. That this is all going on at a time where kids should be concentrating on schoolwork and stuff like that, and it's just crazy to think that this is still going on at this. We're in 2020 now, and it's just something that I don't believe should be happening. We mentioned this at the beginning of COVID-19, and the problems that we were facing then compared to the problems that we're going to face after, which we're sort of getting to now. The problems after, it's going to be massive consequences of the virus. So
when you're thinking about your own childhood, growing up in Wythenshawe, actually things could have been really different for you, couldn't they?
Yeah, definitely. 45% of people like me, black people in different ethnic minorities, they're living in poverty, and I was very close to being one of that 45%. So I understand that it could have went either way for me, and I'm grateful that it went this way for me, but it doesn't make me forget about what happened in the past. And I obviously want to help them people and as much as I can, and just raise awareness, really, because I think some people want to help. I definitely think that people want to help, but they don't have the understanding or the knowledge behind it, and they don't know how many people it's actually affecting.
Something I wonder when I read the letter, when you were growing up, do you remember being hungry?
Yeah, of course. But I also understood. Maybe it was just part of me growing up. I just knew how hard that my mum was working. Anyway, so I'd never moan. I'd never do anything. If there's food on the table, there's food on the table. If there's not, I had friends that understood my same situation, and maybe it was possible for me to go to their house, get some food or whatever.
I know that you've written this letter from the heart. Tell me what you hope you might be able to achieve.
Well, basically, I'm just hoping that the government make a U-turn on the decision to stop the free meal vouchers, and I'm just hoping they do it as soon as possible. Really, I know they've mentioned that they usually do this, this time of year, summer holidays, but because of COVID, the situation's been completely different for everyone in the world. So. Circumstances change, so I think, for at least summer holidays, they have to be willing to make that decision to go back on themselves.
When you look at what's been happening in the country over the last several weeks, particularly the scenes of protests over the weekend, as a young black man with a platform that you have, already using it for good, what can you do? Can you do anything? What message can you send?
Yeah, I think it's you have to do something, especially if like you say, I'm a young black person that wasn't struggling in the system, but managed to find a way out and help my family. But now that I've done that, it's about helping the families that need you most. So I think it's important to have a voice. It's one thing thinking about it and writing them down in your house, but if you don't get that message out to the people and to the people higher up that can possibly change the way things are going, then there's no point having them thoughts whilst you're sat in your house. So it's important that you think about it and then you push them messages out to the public and also to the right people.